Hi everybody, it's Mikki. I miss seeing all of you so much. I miss talking about books and movies and television shows and all things Hampton. But I mostly miss talking about books. So I thought that I would let you know about a book that I just finished. It's called The Dutch House by Patchett. A beautiful writer. I'm sure many of you are familiar with her. She's written a book called Run and Bel Canto and many more books. So anyway, this is her most recent, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about it. It's a story that spans generations. It goes back and forth, past to present, and the two main characters are siblings, Danny and Maeve Conroy. Their parents grew up very, very poor, and their father, after working in construction and real estate, buying buildings and fixing them up, finally makes it. And he's very proud of himself. And one of the things that he does is he surprises his family by purchasing a beautiful architectural house in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And they call it the Dutch House because it was built for a Dutch family many years before. In fact, the dishes and furniture and even the portraits of the Dutch family are still left behind. So the father surprises the family one day and takes them there and says, "This is our new house." And the mother is horrified. She grew up also very poor and wants nothing to do with it. She doesn't want to live in this house and have servants and live like they've never lived before. And Maeve and Danny are very young at the time, and they move in, and the mother just can't do it. She can't live this way, and she leaves. She abandons her children, basically. And all they know is that she's gone to India. So their life continues, and the father eventually remarries, and the stepmother doesn't really care for Danny and Maeve, and she has two children of her own that she dotes on. And so we see through their life how they grow up and experience things together and things differently. It's mainly told from Danny's point of view. And anyway, I thought I'd let Patchett do some of the explaining since her writing is much more beautiful than I can convey. So anyway, I'll just read a little bit about it. "Do you think it's possible to ever see the past as it actually was?" I asked my sister. We were sitting in her car, parked in front of the Dutch house, in the broad daylight of early summer. The linden trees kept us from seeing anything except the linden trees. I had thought the trees were enormous when I was young, but they'd kept right on growing. Maybe one day they'd grow into the wall of Andrea's dreams. The car windows were rolled down, and we each kept an arm out, Maeve's left and my right, while we smoked. I had finished my first year of medical school at Columbia. It would be the summer we would quit smoking, more or less, but on this particular day, we were still only thinking about it. "I see the past as it actually was," Maeve said. She was looking at the trees. "But we overlay the present onto the past. We look back through the lens of what we now know. So we're not seeing it as the people we were, we're seeing it as the people we are. And that means the past has been radically altered." Maeve took a drag off her cigarette and smiled. "I love this. Is this what they're teaching you in school? Introduction to psychiatry. Tell me you're going to be a shrink. It would be so beneficial." "Do you ever think about going to see a psychiatrist?" This would have been 1971. Psychiatry was very much the rage. "I don't need a psychiatrist because I can see the past clearly. But if you need to practice on someone, then by all means, be my guest. My psyche is your psyche." "Why aren't you at work today?" Maeve looked completely surprised. "What kind of stupid question is that? You just got here. I'm not going to work." "Did you call in sick?" "I told Otterson you were coming home. He doesn't care when I'm there. I get everything done." She tapped her ashes out the window. Maeve had worked as a bookkeeper for Otterson's ever since she'd graduated from college. They packaged and shipped frozen vegetables. My sister had won the math medal at Barnard. She had a higher cumulative GPA than the guy who'd won the math medal at Columbia that year. a sweet fact she learned from the guy's sister, who was also Maeve's friend. With all of her knowledge and ability, she not only managed the payroll and calculated the taxes, she improved the delivery system, ensuring that bags of frozen corn would be quickly ferried to the grocer's freezers through the Northeast. Are you always going to work there? You should go back to school. We're talking about the past, Doctor, not the future. You need to stay on point. I tapped at my cigarette. Andrea was the past I wanted to talk about. But Mrs. Bushbaum came out of her house to check the mail and saw us sitting there. She came straight to my open window and leaned in. "Danny, you're home," she said. "How's Columbia?" It's like it was before, only harder. I had gone to Columbia as an undergraduate also. Well, I knew this one would be happy to see you. She nodded her head at Maeve. "Hi, Mrs. Bushbaum," Maeve said. Mrs. Bushbaum put her hand on my arm. "You need to find your sister a boyfriend. There's got to be some nice doctor at the hospital who doesn't have time to look for a wife, a nice tall doctor." "My criteria go beyond height," Maeve said. "Don't misunderstand me. I always love to see her back in the neighborhood, but still it worries me." Mrs. Bushbaum was speaking only to me, as if she and I were in our own private section of the car. "She shouldn't just be sitting out here by herself. Some people may get the wrong impression. She's welcome, of course. I don't mean that." "I know," I said. "It worries me too. I'll talk to her." "And this one across the street," Mrs. Bushbaum gestured vaguely toward the linden trees with her forehead. "Nothing. When she drives by, she does not wave. She does not acknowledge that anyone else is here. I think she must be a very sad person." "Or not," Maeve said. "I see the girls sometimes. Do you see the girls? They have better manners. If you ask me, they're the ones to feel sorry for." I shook my head. "We don't see them." Mrs. Bushbaum squeezed my forearm and then waved goodbye to Maeve. "You can always come in the house," she said, and we thanked her as she walked away. "Mrs. Bushbaum corroborates my memory of the past," Maeve said when we were alone again. So I hope that you read it. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I did. And during this time, I hope that you're finding comfort in books as much as I have. I wish you all well, and stay healthy. Enjoy the spring weather, and I hope we all see each other soon. Bye.